please welcome your compere of the evening, Will Salter!
I'm Ellen DeGeneres. Welcome to the last CCC of this academic year. I know, you've all been weeping last night. It was a terrible night's sleep, but we're going to wake you up with some comedy now. All good things come to an end. So, what are you afraid of ending?
Nothing, currently.
You will be.
England's place in the World Cup.
England's place in the World Cup.
Yeah.
I wonder how many of you think this is going to be the England match. Because, this is a very big turnout. Old man River over there. What are you squinting at?
Where's the football?
Old Man River was one of those people. It's quite tragic, really. Who's excited about tonight? Yeah? Thank you! Thanks for that, yeah. I'm excited about tonight because I'm coming to an end, actually. The thing is, when the year ends, obviously everyone leaves and they take us all to a farm. Shoot us in the back of the head. It's horrible. That's just the comedians of Europe, right? Okay, so I'm gonna ask you a few questions because I feel like some of you have come for the football, but some of you have come for the comedy, and maybe you're thinking, I'm more intelligent than the footballers, Maybe you look down on the football, the football-loving fans, just because, there's more of them. I think you're wrong, frankly. So I'm gonna have to ask you a few questions, to test this audience's intelligence. I'm gonna start with you, sir. What's your name? Pardon?
Lifty.
Okay. So I'm going to ask you a question, my good friend here. What's on the sky? Clearly, this man doesn't know what the sky can. You, sir, how does he eat food?
With mouth sometimes.
That was the right answer. Okay, I've got a quote now. It's to be or not to be. That is the question. Anyone know who said that?
Kanye West?
Descartes.
Maybe?
No. I feel like you're being a bit facetious there. I feel like you know the answer and you're not telling me it. Just for a few laughs. Well, this is a comedy gig and I won't stand for it, okay? Does anyone actually know who said to be or not to be? That is the question. Anyone? No, it was William Shakespeare. Hamlet was a fictional character. You're really not doing well here, guys. Okay, so actually I'm going to bring on the first act now because we are running out of time due to the football. The impending doom that will swallow us all. Ladies and gentlemen, can I please welcome to the stage our first act, Mr. Jack Maidment.
Thank you very much. Don't worry, this will all be over. So I've been sort of brushing up on modern literature recently. The works of a guy called Roger Hargreaves. I don't know if you've heard of him. He basically wrote these books called Mr. Men. Now, it's okay, I know you've probably not heard of it, it's a very niche thing. Alright, but Mr. Men. Okay, but they're not actually men. Stay with me here. They're anamorphic shapes with faces. And they're named after emotions and feelings, and then them themselves in their story arcs portray those emotions and feelings. I've lost you, haven't I? No, okay. Alright, let me give you an example. There's a guy called Mr. Happy. and he's happy. No, alright, bad example. There's a guy called Mr. Greedy, and he's greedy, and he's fat, because he eats everything. No, again, sorry, there's a guy called Mr. Bump, because he has brain damage. Because he just keeps bumping it, he can't stop! But it's a way that, I don't know, I kind of dismissed Mr. Men over the years, because I know it's kids' books, but I think they're quite deep and quite, horrific to think about, because like, these things are named after emotions, can they only feel that emotion? Does Mr. Happy not know pain? You know, it's like, Mr. Happy, your dad's dead. Really? Well, this is actually a very serious thing. I know, but I can't feel sadness. This is all I know. Mr. Bump's got to have the worst life imaginable, hasn't he? Here we have a character specifically written to experience pain and injury. I mean, that's got to be a really crap life. You know, it's like, and he's bruising, and he's constantly in bandage. It's not like you see a Mr. Men book with Mr. Bump in, and he's not in bandage because he's recovered. He never recovers. He's always in bandages. It's this vicious cycle of pain for him. Just want to give him a hug. You're right, Mr. Bump. Not really. Well, you know, why do you do this? Why don't you just say no? I don't know. It's the way I was written. I pray for death, but death never comes. They always reboot the series, and I'm quite a popular one. Well, come in, mate. Come in, give us a hug. I wouldn't do that. Due to the constant bruising, I'm very septic. Can Mr. Meg get septic? I can. I mean, it's like, you know, I have a theory, that Mr. Bump actually enjoys it. He's actually a massive sadomasochist, you know, so he can, which kind of like puts the Mr. Men into a different, sort of a whole new light. It's actually quite a sick series of novels, you know. It's like, and then to think, you know, my parents read them to me as children. You know, I mean, I'm not going to read them to my kids, but I don't know if I want kids. That's my segue. I don't know if I want kids. I don't know. People ask me that, you know, if I want to have kids before I get married. And I'm 19 years old. I don't know about that. I think it's a weird thing to ask somebody, you know, so young, somebody who's just experienced in adulthood. You know, people, you know, say to me, Jack, do you want to get married? What's married? Is it a new type of vodka? So yes, I want to get married. I want to get married all night long. And then people say, Jack, do you want kids? What are kids? Is there a new type of vodka? I actually have kids. I've got kids in my room. No, that's not what I meant, officer. That actually happened. Jack, would you rather live in a flat or a house or semi-detached? What are all of those things? Can I get drunk off them? That's all, you know, sort of like people my age, that's all our brains operate, because let's face it, at this age, you know, we're selfish. We're selfish people, because we're the only people that you have to look after and responsible for. So, and it's not criticism, everyone in this room is selfish. You're selfish. You're selfish. Look at him over there. He's selfish. You can see the selfish dripping off him. You know, that's the thing, you know, and then you start off, you know, selfish, you're looking after yourself, and you start to discover yourself in your teenage years and your early adulthood, and you get to know who you are, you get to know what sort of person you are, okay? And then when you get to know yourself very, very well, almost you know everything about yourself. And then you get bored. You get bored of yourself because you're the only person you're hanging out with. Well, that's how it happens for me anyway, but that's another story for another time. And you get bored, so you start to introduce another person into your life. You know, you get into a relationship, maybe. You know, somebody you care about, and eventually fall in love. You might get married. Likely, but so you get to know this person, and you get to know them almost as well as you know yourself, and then you get bored of this person. You think, oh well, you're bringing home the bacon, but I yearn for beef. That's a metaphor. So basically, so you get bored, and then you decide to bring other people into the mix. You decide to have children. So you respect this person enough to bring in another life into this world, this pure, beautiful, innocent life. You know, and then you teach them the ways of your life, and you want them to be a better representation of yourself, basically. You learn everything about them because everything they know you've taught, and you mould this life into your hand. And then you get bored. You get bored of the kid. And then when they come of age, I don't know, around 9 or 10, You're like, okay, go on, shut up now. Go on. Spread your wings. Spread them. Spread your wings. Go on, fly out the window. Dad, I'm only 7. I don't care. Go and live on a farm or something. But enough about my upbringing. So yeah, you get bored of your kids eventually, and then something weird happens. The person that you brought this child into the world with, assuming you're still together, you sort of like start reconnecting with this person. You start relearning why you fell in love in the first place. You start relearning around, the common loves, the common hatreds you both share as human beings. Okay? And you're all together, and you hold wrinkly hands together, and maybe you're sat in the garden of a place that you've lived for years, or maybe you're on the beach on a retirement holiday, looking into the sunset and the sand, and you know what you think? Wow, what a wonderful life we all lead. And then you die.
Maidment, the seventh Beatle. Yeah, he was talking about death there actually, and I want to go back into death. I seem to have come from death, and now I will return to death. But there will always be in England, apparently. Yeah, I want to get to know some of you. You're all here, you all came here for a reason, and I assume it's to make friends. So, does anyone want to make friends with me? No? No, there was an audible no there. Wow! Good job, I've got a microphone. Anyone?
I'll make friends with you.
Yeah! Ross!
To be fair, I'm always slightly friends with you, but I can always make more friends with you.
Ross, what's your name?
My name is Rose.
And what was the most horrible thing you ever did as a child?
Oh God. I kicked my brother in the bollocks once and he ran off crying for about 10 hours.
Wow. Was your brother a bull or something? Very difficult to kick someone in the balls.
Well, he kept practicing.
He liked? Go on.
He kept practicing his WWF wrestling moves on me and I had to defend myself. So my signature move was to sort of sit on the floor and just sort of kick upwards.
Did you act kick or did you actually
I kicked.
I'm afraid that's outside the rules, so you would have been disqualified. Does anyone else want to tell some horrific childhood story? I found that asking a whole crowd of people doesn't work, so I'm gonna, force this on you soon. Sir, do you have a horrific childhood story?
I once kicked my brother in the balls.
Like, ring. Yeah, okay. That sounds, good luck with that. I actually did something horrible as a child once. I don't know why I did it. It was very uncharacteristic, but I shot someone. No. I was playing out with someone, as you do. You have your little friends when you're a kid, and I was playing out with them, and we were, I don't know, playing sword fights or something, and for some reason I thought I'd play a prank on this guy. Pranks are fun. Pranks are brilliant. So I turned to him. His name was Marcus. I turned to Marcus. I was like, Marcus, this is all a dream. Oh, what, the sword fight? No, it was like, no, everything's a dream. And he said, well, yeah, of course, we're pretending, we've got our imaginations. No, Marcus, everything is a dream. Everything you've ever known until... I was about 4. This is horrible. Everything you've ever known has been a dream. You're stuck in a dream. And I turned to him and said, but this one's a nightmare. And I started walking towards him. I don't know what I was going to do when I caught up with him. It would have been a crap ending to the dream, but he ran away. It was horrible. That was just a horrible story, it's not funny. No, it was like I was, you know, the David Lynch of playing out. Without further ado, I'm going to introduce the next act. I'm going to start with clapping. Have you heard of that? Yeah. We're going to do it like the film Spartacus. So I want one of you to stand up and clap, and then the rest of you will stand up one by one and clap. If you don't want to stand up and clap, just sit down and clap. It's a social experiment. Okay. I'm looking for Spartacus, by the way, right now. One of you.
Yes.
There he is!
Last week of term! Can I get a yay? Yay! Can I get a B? B! Can I get a C? Now we all know where we are! Yeah, so last week of term, you don't have courses anymore, you don't have anything, you will never have to see your lecturers for 3 months, or your tutors. You know those really old bastards that obviously lead completely different lives to you all, who are completely different than you undergraduate students. And it's not like any of them are in the audience of this stand-up show. It's not like one of them is performing this stand-up. No, you know those fuckers, right? So when I was an undergrad, I actually legitimately thought that tutors are like proper adults, you know, they have everything figured out. They know where they are in life, and now I'm one of them. It's so weird, because, you know, like, our main interaction with students is by asking them on a workshop, you know, are you doing fine? Are you okay? And their answer to that is our whole impression of them as a person. So we obviously divide them into groups based on that answer. So, it's kind of racist. So like 80% of them are obviously, you know, the sheep. And we call them the sheep because, you know, you approach them and you're like, hi, you need any help? Do you need any help with this module? Are you a sheep or a murloc? So, you know, the grey crowd, the cannon fodder, the lettuce in a Subway sandwich, the rice in a curry, those guys. So, as the term goes, we get progressively more depressed about them because we literally never hear their voice. And we keep hoping that one day they will have a question, one day they will be slightly interested. And it happens usually on the last workshop that, you know, that one of them raises their hand and we're like, yes, we did it! The teacher's dream, he's interested, he's gonna ask a question. Oh, what's this question gonna be? It's gonna be something that's gonna change my life, and this cable got stuck over there. It's gonna be so great. Oh my god, what's your question, boy? What's your question? Can I leave earlier today? Now get the fuck out of my workshop, you stupid sheep. Yeah, and the other type of people are the brilliant people. You know, those brilliant students who just sit smugly in the back of the workshop, never ask questions, because they know what's happening here. They figured it out, they know how it goes. And one day you approach them with their homework, and you're like, yeah, I got your homework, it's really good. And this whole calculation is just brilliant. But I had to deduct half a mark here. No. No, this thing right here was wrong. No, you don't understand. If I lose this mark, my father is gonna disinherit me. Listen, this was wrong. This is my job. I had to subtract this mark. No! I don't believe this. I demand a trial by combat. and you like talk to this guy for 2 minutes, keeping him low, while your fellow tutor comes behind him with a horse tranquilizer. And that's the good thing about starting a PhD, because we all get like a lifetime supply of those. But you know, the absolute worst type of students you can get are the perfect people. You know, so you come to your workshop, you know, imagine you're a young PhD student, foreign guy in a new country, figuring stuff out, finding friends, being single, and then you find this guy, this tall guy with his flowing hair, with biceps larger than a watermelon, with a face like a crossover between a Hollywood movie star and a Greek god, with his aftershave smelling like paradise or something. And I hate that guy so much! So obviously I spent hours trying to find mistakes in his homework that I can subtract marks from, you know. And then on the next workshop I show up and I'm like, hey, you know how perfect you think you are. You know how good you are. You know your gorgeous girlfriend and everything. Well, it's all a lie! There was supposed to be a minus here. Everyone, look at him! You thought he's perfect! You thought he's perfect! Well, he is He is nothing! He has a minus wrong! Teach me how to live! But, you know, like, now the workshops are done, we're done with this shit. Now exams are what's fashionable, right? And for us, the PhD students, the invigilators, exams are the most boring shit imaginable. Like, imagine you're basically standing in a room, watching 100 people write. So, you know, we gotta find small pleasures in this, you know. So, my first small pleasure are the exam announcements. I love them because they make no fucking sense. So, like, the first announcement is, it is an academic offense for a student to carry a mobile phone in his pocket. An academic offense. What else could it be? A bodily offense? Do you expect someone to, like, ram his iPhone to someone else's throat? And the academic offense, what the fuck actually is an academic offense? Is that like a strategy in chess? Like, I basically succeed an opening with my academic offense. Is that like a TV show about, like, teenagers getting bitten by radioactive scientists and fighting crime? Or is that the strategy of Honduras for this year's World Cup? Yeah, you know, do you know that fucking Honduras got into World Cup and Poland didn't? I'm not bitter at all about the fact that my home country was beaten by a country literally called Hound Your Ass. Not bitter at all. But then there is the next announcement. Students are allowed to have calculators, but only if they are not pre-programmed. Pre-programmed? What the fuck do you want them to be post-programmed? How the fuck is this even supposed to work? I mean, all calculators are pre-programmed. They are pre-programmed to calculate! That's what they are for! Or do you maybe want them to be programmed to calculate but not to do other stuff? Well, I find that racist. This fucking calculator can do whatever the hell it wants, and I don't care if it wants to do laundry. I don't care if it wants to play Eye of the Tiger during the exam. I don't care if it only wants to display the boobs number, you know, 80085 on the old digital display. The most beautiful number there is. Good for a quick giggle for a mathematician and for a quick jerk-off between workshops. Obviously never happens. Obviously never happens. And then the announcements continue. Please, all students should place their calculator lids on the floor. And at that exact moment, 100 calculators hit the floor in perfect unison. It's the best feeling in the world because you feel like a king. Everyone pick up those lids. Half of the room drop it. You drop it. You pick it up. You drop it again. Everyone drop it. Okay, now you can pick it up. You can have it on your desk. Oh, thank you, sir, but why? Because I am a generous God. Let no one say I am anything but merciful. But unfortunately, you know, the exam announcements end very quickly, and the actual exam starts, and then there's only one joy we have from those exams: the toilet breaks. Because, you know, a toilet break, the invigilator actually has to follow the student outside of the room, so it's your only opportunity to leave the room, to follow the student to the loo, to breathe some fresh air. Well, except for the trace amounts of fecal bacteria in it. But you know, to have an adventure. So, obviously, all the invigilators, we are looking for those toilet breakers. We want to be the first to lead them out of the room. So, there are various strategies for this. So, most of the invigilators just dash across the room, wanting to get that toilet breaker. Well, I have a different strategy. I just watch one person. All the time. Until they get uncomfortable. Until just to escape my gaze, they raise their hand. I'm waiting for this. And then when they do, but this audience member doesn't, then I am untouched. Well, that's too late now. And then we go out to my adventure, and then I pick a new victim. And so on. And so on. And finally, we have some evil fun. You know, like during exams, you are at the edge of your psychological endurance. Someone breathes more loudly and you snap. And it's absolutely hilarious. So you know, so obviously when I'm walking around the room, I sometimes stop next to a student, I look at what he's writing and I'm like... or I just always have like a piece of paper with me so that I can stand on top of a student and just keep writing. 02, 03, and then finally, my favorite thing that I've ever done was when I was invigilating an exam where the problem sheet was like one-sided, you know, really short. So obviously, 3 minutes before the end, I said, you have 3 minutes left. Please remember to solve the problems from both sides of the exam sheet. That's how I learned the definition of true mayhem. All the students arose to battle. None of them even bothered to check what the fuck was happening. Sheer panic engulfed the room. They all rose, tables were flipped. The students started charging in the direction of the invigilators, wanting to get their shred of dignity back. But they had no dignity anymore. We, the invigilators, we just made a quick barricade from all the desks, and there was this Mexican stand-up as we are watching each other, knowing that no one can really kill each other because all of us will get fired for various reasons. We are just watching ourselves in this really tense silence. And then a voice is heard. Guys, he was joking. The exam sheet is one-sided. Everyone, come back to your seats. Let's finish this exam properly. And all the emotions just, you know, there's an atmosphere of friendship. You feel, you're just expecting like a crossover between Morgan Freeman and Jesus to be standing somewhere in the room. So you're looking for this mysterious savior. You're looking for him. And then you find him. And it's this fucking perfect guy with his watermelon muscles, his marvelous hair, and his awesome aftershave. I hate that guy! I'm Mateusz Jurczyński, dziękuję bardzo.
Mateusz Jurczyński, guys, the 57th Dalai Lama. Voting begins soon. We're going to have to move on straight away to our next act. So, without further ado, I want to split this crowd, okay? We're going to split it like the Red Sea. On one side we have wave right, one side we have wave left, okay? So I want you to compete with how many Egyptians you can both kill. Okay? We're doing God's work here, guys. Come on. Start clapping, you guys. And you guys. Ecumenical Henry Mann.
Hello.
So,
Wait for the laughs to stop. So, I'm quite nervous sometimes, as you can probably tell. So I'll give you guys a couple of examples of how my nervousness sometimes manifests itself. I was out on a bar crawl once. I was dressed up as Henry the Hoover, not because, you know, Henry, you suck. It's because I have a red plastic midriff. It does quite a lot sometimes. But anyway, so we were out in one of the bars on the crawl, and this really burly guy, you know, he comes up to me, and he puts his arm around me, and he draws me in close, and he goes, my friend, I've got to tell you something. And you know, I wasn't really very scared, but I thought he was going to hit me, you know. Well, I wasn't scared of that, but I thought he was going to murder me, just like in the bar, you know. I wasn't scared he was going to murder me, but I thought he was going to pull one of my limbs off, you know. I wouldn't say that I was really, really nervous about him pulling one of my limbs off, but I did think that he'd, like, lined up an assassin on the rooftop opposite, and he was going to kill me with an assassin. Yeah? No, okay, I'm kidding. I didn't think that I wasn't that nervous, come on, not that nervous, but I did think he was going to drop a bomb on me. So, yeah, you know, quite nervous, like I say. He actually just wanted to compliment me on my costume. But I did get quite nervous. And the nervousness, it really manifested itself in something that happened at the beginning of this term. I got back and found out that over Easter someone had tried to break into my house. This made me so nervous, I had to go and stay in a friend's cupboard till I calmed down. Which, you know, like, I stayed there overnight. I was going to kind of, like, pay rent, but then we worked out this system where I was, like, the little cupboard helper, and I'd run around the cupboards and get them bowls and plates and stuff. And they had little order cards they post through the cupboard. So that kind of paid for my stay there. And, you know, when I got back to my house, I realised I really shouldn't have been so nervous, because this burglar, whoever he or she was, tried to break into my house using a garden trowel. Literally just jammed it in the window, tried to open it, which, you know, the last time I checked, gardening equipment, it's not on, you know, the standard burglar's toolkit, is it? You know, and I found one on Amazon, actually. I found a burglar's toolkit on Amazon. It includes, you know, black mask, okay, crowbar, yeah, chops to distract the dogs, fine. No gardening equipment. Which, just as an aside, I think what this really shows is that, you know, cartoony diamond heists have been brought into the technological era now, where cartoon burglars can just order all their equipment off Amazon, you know? So, like, what's next is some kind of, like, cartoony diamond burglar Tinder app. That'd be great. You've got, like, a burglar in his, like, striped head jumper and mask, singing, swiping across, going, no. Oh, he sent me a message. You want to rob a bank later? Yeah, meet at Starbucks. Want to bang afterwards? Oh, he sent me a picture of his crowbar. His penis. So, yeah. But anyway, so I was thinking a lot about this person. Why did they try to break into my house using... The conclusion that I could come to was that this was some sort of thematic Batman villain. And I don't mean like a cool, gritty Christopher Nolan Batman villain. I mean like a really campy 1960s Adam West Batman villain. Which, it wouldn't be surprising if you consider some of the other Batman villains that have been on before him. I'll give you some examples. The Egghead, the guy that actually has a massive tumour, makes his head look like an egg. King Tut, he's a Pharaoh-themed villain, he's very dismissive of people. Again, all real villains. One that I actually think was quite funny and perhaps a precursor to whoever tried to break into my house was a guy called Louis the Lilac. And he's kind of like an Al Capone, kind of like 1930s gangster, but he only eats lilacs. That's real. Yeah. So he would have been dangerous except for the fact that I assume all his bones and muscles were really weak because he only eats flowers. There's not even any variation in his flower diet, it's literally just lilacs. So, imagine like if one of his gangster enemies wanted to kill him, it was kind of like, oh, Johnny the Knight needs to whack Louis the Lilac. Yeah, okay, I'll go and push him over. That would be probably fine. It looks like we've got a Batman villain, Lancaster. This person, whoever they are, I've decided they're called the Trowler. They break into your house. I assume they love plants and the earth, so I guess they replace all your electronics with stuff that's more economical, so they only steal your carbon footprint, which, yeah, fine, it reduces my first world guilt, so I'm alright with that. But yeah, and don't be afraid of them, because you can just push them over, they'll be fine. But yeah, so something else that I've been wanting to talk about, going back to earlier when I mentioned my red plastic midriff, is household appliances. So you guys have all heard of JML, right? Yeah. Well, for those of you who don't know, JML, this company, you can only order it kind of like over the phone through the shopping channel, and they make products to make your life easier, like a vacuum cleaner that makes drinks, or a mop that will raise your kids for you, or like a DVD player that will also solve Middle East crises, you know, stuff like that. And I've been thinking they're not actually a very good company. It's all really overpriced. Some of the products are really cringy and ill-named. I'll give you an example. There's Mantis, the car product. What do we think that could be? A spoiler? Mantis spoiler. Yeah, that's quite cool. Mantis, I don't know, rims? Yeah? No, it's polish. Mantis car polish. Can you imagine that? It's kind of, oh no, I've got a scratch on my car. Looks like I'll have to get Mantis car polish! Extreme car polish! So it also turns you into a WWE wrestler. You know, it's not very convenient, is it? Another thing is Pedi Paw or something like that, and that's literally like a power grater for your feet. That's just gross. I would say, yeah, who's into that? I hope none of you were into that. I really do. And I've been thinking about the name JML. You know, it's one of those names, JML. It's a boy band name or something, couldn't it? You know, JLS, JML. And wouldn't that be great though, if, you know what the announcer on the advert sounds like? He's got that really cheesy sort of announcer voice. It'd be great if he was singing R&B songs, wouldn't it? Like, ooh baby, want to love you all night for only $99.99. Call now and receive an additional night of loving absolutely free. You know, which actually makes it sound like a really horrible escort service for the shopping channel. But I did a little bit of more research on JML, and I found they have a VIP club, which is apparently also really terrible. So JML is an R&B singer, he has an escort service, he has a VIP club. So JML be pimpin'. I've been Henry Banks, you've been great, thank you very much.
Henry Banks there. We're going to have a quick break now because you all look really tired. So, yeah, alright, see you in 10 minutes.
Ladies and gentlemen, can I please welcome back to the stage your compere, Mr. Will Salter!
Thanks, Dave. Hello again. Yeah, thanks. Hello. Welcome back to the second part. I've been told by the bar staff that they'll break my legs if we don't hurry. So I'm going to ask you a few questions. Everyone loves football, right? Yeah, everyone loves football. What do you love about the football? Anyone? The Mateusz! Yes! What do you love about the football? Everything! Everything? Because there's literally everything to love about it! Sorry? So, mate, there's literally everything to love about it. Oh, it's a microphone. So, you know, I expected you to... You, sir, what do you love about football? You don't love about football, please. They'll break my legs.
Yes, I love it. It's great. It's great. I love the ball.
It's great. He loves the ball. Well, that's very much what the game is about, sir. They chase the ball because they love the ball, and thus the cycle of life continues. Anyone else love football? Standing up for it. Him! He loves football. Hello. What's your name?
I don't know, I don't remember.
Does someone have like medical experience? Anyway, we're gonna have to hurry this up, so I'm gonna have to bring on the next act. She's a comedian. Without further ado, I want you to all clap for Maddie Howard.
Hello. I'm going to talk to you about the most important person in this room. Of course, that is me, but only because I have a microphone. No, I say that. It's not only because of that. I'm actually also very wise. So I'm going to casually give out some life tips. Just throw them out there, you know, throughout this short presentation. And you can all learn from my mistakes, my words, and my ways. So you want to get to know me, don't you? Right, okay. Well, I'm a father of 2, chartered accountant, and I'm definitely not worried about this really long microphone wire at all. I haven't even thought about it. Like, is it there? Don't know. Don't ask me. Personally, yeah, I tend to. Upload to Facebook. Profile picture. I don't know, everyone's online at like 9, so I'll do that. Put things off till the last minute. Obviously, that's quite a common student thing to do, right? And I get that, yeah? But I'm a special snowflake, so if you can just appreciate that, that'd be great. And alright, if you're a kind soul, like you might say, Maddie, friend, don't put yourself down, you know, don't talk about yourself that way. And then I'm assuming that you might use that tone that we all have to use, you know, like when you're stuck with a sad person and just keep talking about how sad they are, so you have to say words like, oh, it'll be fine, it'll get better, you know, don't cry, like, don't cry because I don't want to hug you. Don't cry, okay? And you might round it off by saying, look, I'm Maddie, that you are a lovely and hard-working girl, you know? But what you don't know is I first came to CCC in 2011 when I just joined the uni, and I just started my degree, and I thought, you know what, I can do stand-up, like, why not get on stage and tell a few jokes, you know, it'd be a right laugh. Well, it's now 2014, I've finished my entire degree, it's done, degree's done. We still haven't found Comey. And this is my debut on the last ever CCC that I will be a student to see. So we're in safe hands, guys, safe hands. But you know, I have actually learned quite a bit about comedy over the years, the 3 years. From like taxi drivers, comedians, you know, and I don't know if you know this, but accents, hilarious, right? So funny. And you're probably thinking, I know that, I'm great at accents. Are you though? Are you really? That's what you should ask yourself, okay? Because the trouble with accents is the success of them depends on how good you actually are. So, you know, if you do a good accent, people are going to be like, this is a good accent, well done, see what you did. And if you don't, people are going to be offended, really, aren't they? So, in reality though, like the difference between the talented accenter and the less so is that you probably said the same things, actually. You probably said the same token phrases, but only the most convincing xenophobia will be tolerated for our entertainment. So, it's alright. I'm going to say something now, and I suspect it's not going to be a popular opinion. Robert Gillow, really boring pub. High five for this guy. Weird. So, can you raise a hand if you've been to the Robert Gillow? Everyone! Yay! Well then you'll know what my problem is, okay? So you walk in, reluctantly. And you get bombarded by like a horde of 30-year-old white men playing the shit out of some jazzy, folky, bluesy, on a ukulele, whatever they're doing, don't know, and I try and make it to the bar. But silly me, I didn't take out a mortgage on the way in, so I can't drink anything. And then you go upstairs, where they have like that long-ass table that looks like the table from like The Last Supper or whatever, really long. Someone sits at the front of it, like the most popular person. And you're like awkwardly staring for an escape, so you either stare at like your phone or the wall, and what do you see when you look on the wall? Well, someone has taken a piece of carpet, somehow, I don't cut it out, put it on the wall as if it's like a work of art, and I'm looking at that like, it's not though, is it? It's a carpet. Should be walking on that, should be underneath my feet. That should be the water to my Jesus. I should not have to stare at this like it's going to impress me. I tell you where it is impressive though. Carpet bar. See, that doesn't work anymore, because there used to be like a really big oil painting in the next room with like a really beautifully detailed crotch and some other things. But someone's just decided to like paint all over the walls in white and shit all over my joke at the same time, so too late for that, too late again. That's alright. Oh, I'm tired. Life lessons, yes. Life lesson there was, some people not that nice. Found that out when I moved up north to uni. Not to the north, oh my god, no. Forget that happened. Because lad culture's a thing, I don't know why. Like, obviously, you get a lot of idiots, like, wherever you're from. But the whole lad thing's really weird, because I don't understand how you can be into your second decade of living and still think that, like, the difference between boys and girls is, like, really fucking hilarious. You know, because obviously, like, I remember being yay high, wasn't that long ago. And, like, you know, people would be like, oh, you throw like a girl. And I'd be like, do I? Do I really? Like, could that be? Like, silently we would agree that that was like a really stupid thing to say. But like, my dad didn't so much, he wasn't so much on board with that. Because I remember him being like, oh, girls can't climb trees. That's a wizard. How did I get up here? Was it you who said Dad? But yeah, and apparently things like that still happen, because it was roses, like, a few years ago now, and like there was a York counterpart to my left. I was in another campus bar, and he had like his elbows on the bar, and I had my elbows on the bar. Difference was, he was like some huge rugby player, and he kept barging into me, and I thought, fair enough, maybe he doesn't know, you know? So I was like, excuse me, Mr. Man, you're kind of hurting because you keep barging into me, and you know what he said, right? He turned to me, he went, the men are talking, and turned back around again. And you're probably thinking, like, someone like me, I hit him, right? I probably hit him. Like, did I hit him? Didn't hit him. Back to the, like, putting things off thing, I kind of waited about a year. And then I, you know, I helped to rejuvenate a feminist society, and I punished the hierarchical structures that created that monster. So I got my revenge. Guys, no, don't worry, I'm not going to start talking about feminism, right? Because this is a comedy gig. And we all know that would be a mood killer, right? Rape jokes as a general rule, though. Apparently not. Isn't that weird? Like, fine. No, but, you know, the men are talking. But, hey, no, backtracking. I'm not a misandrist, right? And you might be thinking, you know, maybe you are. I don't know what that means, okay? So, you know, like, misogyny. Misogyny means, like, hatred of women. You know, because obviously certain groups in society are oppressed. You know, women are one of them. And misandry claims kind of like the opposite in an equal way. And like, I would say, if you wanted a slightly less biased opinion, look in the dictionary. Weirdly enough, though, it's not in there. And like, why is that, right? Why isn't it in the dictionary? Like, maybe misandry doesn't exist. Just a theory though. Anyway, right, I should go. Final life tip. If someone grabs a mic, starts telling you how to live your life, look them in the eye and say, I am the main character in the story of my life. Okay? I decide how I live it. Hashtag do what I want. And what I'm gonna do is go now. So I've been Maddie, thank you.
She'll murder us all, Maddie Howard. And now the end is near, and so I face my final curtain. My friends, I'm not going to go through it. But we do have our last act on now. I'm going to bring him on. He's everybody's pal, apparently, but not mine. Could you... Oh, wait a minute. I forgot. I need to do the clap thing, okay? So I've got a new game. It's called You've Got the Clap. We're going to do this just like, venereal diseases spread. So, man over there, I don't know your name. What's your name?
Hello, Will.
Hello, Will, over there. He's going to be the originator of this venereal disease, and it's going to spread. It's going to spread throughout all of you. Okay, so if you start clapping,
keep that quiet, but I'll do it.
I didn't promise. So, two people next to him, then you know how it goes.
I'm so sorry.
I don't know why I'm assuming that. So, start clapping. Ready? Duncan.
Wow, that is far too intense music for what's about to happen. Hello Lancaster, how are we? Hey, okay, so I'm here to talk to you about love. So I want to know, guys, what do you love, guys? Hello, sir, what's your name? Hello, Seb, and what do you love? Food. I love food, but I'm going to get back to that later because that's one of my prepared bits. Wink! Okay, so what else do you love, Seb? Well, I mean, you took a very long gasp before saying people, so maybe they're not that great after all, Seb. I want to try and restore your faith in humanity. I won't do it via this, because this is very much cynicism and hurt. But later, we'll have a chat. Hello, sir, what's your name?
Alec.
Hello, Alec. And what do you love in this world? Music. I love music. Hey! Let's be best friends! No, I really like music. I don't really like the music of, the 80s, though. I've had enough of the 80s. It's a wasted decade. We killed all the other decades, didn't we? 60s, we killed with capitalism. 70s with horrible children's TV presenters. The 90s just didn't care enough to live. The 80s, just returns, doesn't it? The 80s just returns like a horrible Bond villain. So every so often you'll be just sitting there and Duran Duran will keep playing. Don't bring back Duran Duran. Not even the people in Duran Duran cared about Duran Duran. There's no point in that. Anyway, hello, madam, what's your name? Hello, Alex, and what do you love? Taking time?
I love
You love films? Oh, what was the last film you saw then?
Gravity.
Gravity. Did you enjoy Gravity? Yeah. There was no joke there, just literally, I enjoyed it too. I made a new friend. Anyway, so, now, you know what, I'm a lover, not a fighter, guys. So, what I love about food, I like food, I like the way the food's prepared, I just like food in general. Barbecues, I love a good barbecue, because it's going to bring us back to the most primal. Oh, we're at a barbecue, what are you going to make? Meat! Oh, okay. What are you going to have this meat? Meat! Oh, you're weirding me out, overly masculine barbecue man. How are you going to cook this meat? Fire! Oh! Oh, the dawn of time. Are you going to be drunk when you cook this? Certainly! Oh! So, we're going to have anything else? Oh yes, a nice green salad. Really? Yeah, if you're weak, mate! But my issue was, I went out with a vegetarian for the best part of the year, and bringing a vegetarian to a barbecue is a lot like, when you bring your racist uncle home for Christmas. It's that kind of reaction, oh, you're here. Yay. What do you want? Just some food. Oh, I've got some moss. Some lovely moss in a corner, but that's not the right thing at all. It's basically corn though, isn't it? That's basically corn. Well, couldn't I just have like that potato salad? Now you could do, but I really would call potato like the meat of the earth. Which I can't just have that bread. I consider that the meat of the shelf. Do you want to well, there's a carrot there. Can I have that carrot? Yeah, I consider that the meat of. Get out of my barbecue. And that's pretty much how my relationship ended. I've been burned a bit by love, I find, ladies and gentlemen, you know, as somebody's going around talking about it. Did I get an R? Really? Really? Look at me. Yeah. I've been burned by love a few times. So basically, when I see like a pretty woman, someone who I feel like I can spend the rest of my life with, my brain kind of just tries to shut it down. I've got a menial way. I'll be standing there. I'll see a beautiful lady at the park or wherever I go to. And I'll go, oh, that lady's pretty. And my brain will go, David, we know what happens, don't we? Love, you just cry in the shower, don't you? I do that. That does tend to happen in the end. I'll just try and stop this for you, don't keep going on. No, I think I'll go talk to her. I'll shut your legs down. Well, that doesn't even seem to make sense. I'll just walk to... Ah! Oh, heartbreak. Walking away on your two functional knees. No. So yeah, that's love in a nutshell. But another kind of food that I'm kind of in love with is the Scotch egg. Yeah, the Scotch egg. We've all had a Scotch egg. Give us a cheer if you've had a Scotch egg. So I just wanted to see if that would work. Now, the Scotch egg, I love it. It's a very Scottish invention, isn't it? It's an egg wrapped in meat and bread. I also just wanted an excuse to do that accent. I don't understand how it was generated. Like this guy with, oi, Jock, what are you making for your dinner? What about that egg? Oh, wrapped it in meat. You're a genius. Well, send these to Sainsbury's right away. I can only assume Sainsbury's was invented at that point. But they haven't tried it with more stuff, have they? They haven't tried scotching other things like, Scotch chocolate, or like, Scotch if they want to like ruin drinks, or like, a Scotch egg. How many times do you have to cover it in like bread and meat before it just becomes another Scotch egg? And then it just never ends. And it's left this horrible ball of meat rolling down the hill demolishing Scotland. And that's why we included in the Commonwealth. Anyway, so another thing that I love is my family. I love my family. Yeah, I love my family because they're probably watching this video. So, all right, guys, what's going on? It's me. I love my dad. I really love my dad. And my dad's one of those people who has like, he wants to be very inspirational, but he's got one of those stories that is so clearly better than anything I could do that I just feel inadequate. Right? My dad was adopted from a Korean orphanage at the age of 12. Grew up, he only didn't know a word of English, but managed to study, get the grades, get an A-level, get a degree, and is now a very well-respected art teacher. I spent yesterday in my boxers watching Orange is the New Black. I can't compete, I'm just not as good. Don't clap that, sir. Clearly this is why my life isn't working. Look, this is a man who taught me about great art, fine art. I mean, he got me to watch the Blues Brothers when I was 10. I wouldn't have done that otherwise. Yeah, you know what I've learned from that? My favourite film is Space Jam. A film in which Michael Jordan plays basketball with Bugs Bunny. This is a man who can cook beautiful meals. I burn beans. I have burnt beans on multiple occasions. He calls me up and he says, I'm so proud of you. You shouldn't be, Dad. Look at what I'm doing right now. This is the man who taught me how to play football. I'm now stopping football from happening. Cheers, gang. But at least I'm better than my brother, which is always the thing that you have to make yourself to. Now, my brother recently, we found out that last year he managed to break one of his teeth, didn't tell any of us, and waited a year for an infection to set in, and now he's on loads of painkillers. Hey, James, you are watching this, so... But I don't understand the logic of that, really, because if something's falling out of my face, I'm going to tell somebody. I don't know about you guys. I will either tell somebody or make this noise. But it's something out of my face. My ex-girlfriend once chipped a tooth on a fork. This much of tooth left. I still made that noise, and that wasn't even my math. I don't know what kind of like weird. It's not like the Middle Ages, is it, James? Who's watching this? It's not like the Middle Ages, James, right? It's not like if your tooth was slightly broken, they'd rip off the rest of your jaw, then call you old bitey for the rest of your life. That's not how it works. But it's just linking back to the Middle Ages. The town that I live in, it's called West Wickham.
It's it's near London, so we get kind of all the craziness of London people, but without the kind of hip urban atmosphere that all the youths are talking about. Like, you know, gangs and stuff, but they all just kind of do really mediocre shit. Right, so someone recently got shot by a crossbow. Yeah! West Wickham, I don't know how, I don't know if it was some kind of drive-by situation, some kind of horrible Yargo-esque figure was going with his cape, because I assume Yargo has a cape, just going past and going, oh, that has dissed me. Forsooth! Bang! They just went and popped an arrowhead in someone. I'm not up to date with the street vernacular, but my favourite thing is that people have been going around, right? There's been a spate of burglaries, yeah, and they haven't been taking like TVs or fine chinas or, you know, jewels as big as the Queen's head, right? They've just been taking trees out of people's gardens. They've just been taking trees, guys. I'm only assuming there's some weird gangs walking around going, mate, what are you going to do? Some drugs and such? No, bruv, you know what I have got? A sycamore tree. Oh, man! Oh, I have got an elm, let's fight them, then smoke them, because I assume that's how drugs work. But, you know, just to wrap up, I've really enjoyed my time at Lancaster for this 1 year. Don't laugh, I'm being genuine. Yeah, and I've really enjoyed my time here at Lancaster, you know. If I'm going to say one thing, I really like this uni. I really like it. In fact, I think I may love this uni. No, Brain, why? I've been Dave Duncan.
Mr. Dave Duncan there. We've come to the end, but, you know, I don't like to think about endings. I like to, you know, forget about them and think about new beginnings. So is anyone looking forward to a new beginning soon in their life? Anyone? Yeah, Ross.
I've just started a new job.
Just started a new job. What are you doing?
I work in HR at the university. It's really boring. Woo!
What does HR stand for?
Human resources.
Do you have a lot of human resources?
I've got quite a lot.
That's very good. That was the interview process, I assume. Anyone else? New beginnings?
Yeah, me.
You. What's your name?
Katrina.
Katrina. What new beginnings happening?
About to start the new season of Orange is the New Black.
Yay! Is he good? He's pretty good! Pretty good! Look forward to that! Sir, I'm sorry. I just thought I'd come to you last, you know.
Okay, it's alright.
I believe you're the headliner of this
always
whole
last.
show. Sorry, Dave. Okay, what's your name, sorry?
Sorry?
What's your name?
It's Maddie Howard, so it's like, you know, Polish name again.
Okay, of course. So, Michał, what new beginning are you that's going to happen in your life?
Yeah, just looking for a job now.
Looking for a job?
Yeah.
It's not a new beginning, you need to find a job. It's all there in Morrissey song, okay? So we've got to leave now, unfortunately. I hear there's a gaggle outside. That's the collective noun for people. They are people, okay? So, yeah, I'd like to thank all of our acts. Fantastic acts. This is the last CCC of this academic year, so we'll probably see you all in the winter. We've got things to plug actually that Lucy are going to do. We've got a show, Cosmonauts, tomorrow. It's our Edinburgh Fringe show. It's tomorrow, actually. Yeah, it's tomorrow and Saturday. Where is that, Ed?
One is in Furness TV room tomorrow at 7:30. The other one is in File Corner room on Saturday.
Thank you, Ed. Also, our friend Jack Nichols and Jasmine are both putting on a show next Monday called Jurassic Art. It's performance, poetry, and comedy and films. Is that right?
Yeah.
And theatre and
Other things.
Another things, all to do with Jurassic Park. That's at 7:30 in Lancaster Library, so that should be good. Get yourselves down to that. I'm not forcing you to, obviously. I am. Yeah, I'd like to clap for everyone again. And, thank you very much for keeping amazing.